Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Sports Blitz. It's episode number 46. Unbelievable. I can't believe it's 46. Welcome, everybody that's out there. If you're under a rock, welcome. If you're in a cave, please stay there because it's not safe to come out. But I'm Doug. We have Robbie here. Robbie, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. I'm happy to report that I've actually left my room in the last couple of weeks. I've actually ventured out into society, and I've actually done some semblance of normal person things. I've been wearing my mask, and I've been, keeping socially distant. But I have,
there it is.
I have sort of begun the process of reacclimating myself into everyday life, and it feels great. That feels great.
Going outside, man. Yeah,
so
that's what to do.
It is good. It's good to be here. Excited for another episode. Got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we got a ton to talk about, which is rare, actually.
Yeah.
Unless we're doing a specialized episode, it's a very rare thing that we actually have some sports to talk about today.
Yeah.
I will admit that I did call Robbie this morning, talk about a few things, and he was actually outside and he was actually walking the neighborhood people with the mask on. Unbelievable. Which good to listen, if you see
by the way, shout out when Doug first called me. Shout out to the guy that decided in that exact moment he was going to turn his heavy duty lawnmower on and go mowing around his
yard. Nice.
I was like, dude, I'm on a call here,
Wait a minute. He didn't have any thoughts about, maybe he was telling you about the call. Maybe he didn't like the fact that you had a call going on at that time, and whatever.
Maybe.
Who knows? But anyway, we're gonna jump right in, man, because we got a lot to talk about. So we're gonna jump right in.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna start with something that's driving me absolutely batty.
Doug's not a happy Doug when it comes to this particular subject.
Listening to sports radio, and I know it's like you can actually talk about sports now. Not that it has started yet, but it's in the process, so you can actually start talking about different things. So I totally understand.
I've been able to watch Red Sox inter-squad scrimmages. That's about as close to live baseball as we've got to these past 4 months.
So I understand that there's a lot out there and there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But trying to make something that's out of nothing kind of drives me crazy every once in a while. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the Cam Newton Saga. I have no idea why I just called it a saga, except for the fact that if you listen to sports radio, you will find that they are making it into a saga.
Yep.
So, Robbie, really simple question right off the bat. What is this all about? What is this saga, and why are they complaining so much? And it's not just complaining; it's just talking about him like he's like the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
No, it's true. I mean, it is really dumb, is what it is. I mean, this is Cam. Honestly. With Cam Newton, it's all about, his social media feed and his Instagram and these posts he's been doing since he signed and stuff like that. And honestly, this is tame Cam right now. I mean, honestly, this is nothing compared to some of the other crap that, justifiably you could get upset about that he has posted over the years. I mean, it's ridiculous that people are making such a big deal of it. Honestly, I love his pose so far as he's been joining the Patriots because it's him getting fired up. Postman, yes, Karl Malone. What was I gonna say? Jeez. So Cam. Oh my God! I just completely.
No, that's not no problem. What I could do is wait, hold on. It's okay. Relax for a second. So what we do sometimes, folks, if you don't know the show very well, what we do is we actually have on our Zoom, we have a chat, and every once in a while we'll chat back and forth, and we will post something that's really funny, or maybe it's funny to us but not for you, but we'll post something, and typically we're saying it. So if you hear like a word and it's like, where did that word come from? Well, that's coming from the chat. So just know that that's part of our show and what we've kind of developed with the show itself. So Robbie, did you get your did you come back?
No, I came back.
You know how to
No, what it is it's thank you for that.
Absolutely.
What it is it's Cam getting fired up for the season, and that I love. Like if Cam was like bashing people and like doing sort of the stuff that unfortunately he's done in the past, then I could understand. But all Cam is doing is he's getting motivated. He's ready to prove the haters wrong. And you know what? I love it because it helps the Patriots because he's going to come in there like a ball on freaking fire from day one and is going to, I mean, if he plays the way he is Instagramming, the rest of the NFL better look out because he is revved up, ready to go. And that I love. Like, honestly, if I'm a Patriots fan, well, I mean, I am a Patriots fan, but as a Patriots fan...
Well, welcome to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Welcome to Patriots fandom.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
I am a Patriots fan. Are you? You are? Where do you live? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I think it's awesome to see him getting so fired up because that gets me fired up for how he's going to play. Robbie the Past that gets me fired up for how he's going to play when the games start counting, come September. So I love it. I have no problem with it at all. The fact that he's using random fonts and words and stuff like that doesn't really bother me. I mean, I
black and white in the back. I mean,
I love it. I love it. Mean, his vlogs he's been doing, I think it's that's just Cam being Cam, and you know what? In this case, and believe me, if he were doing something that I didn't agree with, I would bash him for it. You guys know us; we're not afraid to sort of call out our own players. We have many a time on this very podcast, but I love it personally. Don't have a problem with it. I think you're right. I think people are blowing it way out of proportion.
I think I absolutely agree with you, Robbie. I think they're blowing it out of proportion. I think they're trying to make something out of it that it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
There's actually one person on WEI that said that Bill has to talk to him and stop him from doing this and stop him from doing what? He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything. He's just going on Instagram. He's going on social media.
Bill would. If Bill had a problem with it, Bill would be the first one to be on that phone being like,
absolutely.
Hey, knock it off, toe it down. Bill's not afraid. I mean, we know Bill Belichick, not personally, but we know, from watching Bill Belichick that he is not afraid to really.
Robbie's got connections. He really does.
Lay down the law for those guys. Well, it's funny. We talked about Rivers earlier. I think both of his sons, or at least one of his sons, went to Rivers.
Both sons.
Yeah, both sons went.
Both sons went to Rivers school. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's.
Connection there.
I mean, the cafeteria. Who the cafeteria is named after?
Named after him, both them. Named after him, right?
It's named after Kraft.
Kraft. Oh, shucks, yeah.
Kraft.
I feel like isn't there like Belichick somewhere in some building?
I think he might be. I think there is a plaque that says
you're right.
something Belichick on it.
Kraft is the cafeteria.
Yeah, absolutely. So the fact is that I don't have a problem with what he's doing. It sounds like these are all, and he actually sat down with a couple of guys. I'm not sure if you saw this interview or not. It wasn't really an interview, but he sat down with a couple guys. They were drinking some wine, and they were just talking about the night he got the phone call. And that was kind of cool because we didn't hear that part of it. And he said, "Oh, it's the Patriots that are interested in me. How am I gonna relate to Bill Belichick? How is that gonna work?" But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with sitting back and saying, how is this really going to work with me? Because he knows what Bill is like, and maybe not as a teammate or as a coach and teammate. Yeah. He doesn't know that, but he's heard, he's seen other guys, he's talked to other guys that have been to the Patriots. So it's not that he doesn't know some of it. It's just he hasn't been in the locker room. That's all.
Right.
But the fact is that all he's doing is these pump up videos, and talking real about the fact that he's excited about coming here.
Yeah.
Excited about the challenge. He's excited about winning. He knows this is a winning culture.
He's
He
been
wants to
working
win
out
here,
with
and
past guys.
and he's got something to prove.
But he's been working out with, the thing I love is the fact that he's already, getting in the same sort of field with his receivers, his new receivers and stuff like that. He's like, he's taking the bull by the horns and is, working out with some of these guys, really get on the same page with these guys. I love that. You want a guy like that to come in and really, right from the start, be getting after it. Even in these times that we are currently in. I think it's great that he's, really taking that step right from signing here.
Absolutely. And you want somebody, we're a winning culture, and you want somebody who has that attitude of, I want to come here, I want to win, I want to, I'm excited about, the possibility of getting the starting job, even if I have to work to get it. It's one of those things where you want a quarterback like that. You want somebody to come in here, not take over for Brady, because he's not. Although they all say that, he's the next guy.
No.
Okay, well, the fact is that I'm not treating it that way.
No.
I'm treating him as a person, a professional who's been in the league for a long time.
Yeah.
He knows how to play football. He's a Pro Bowler, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Former MVP.
Former MVP.
Yeah.
Knows how to play and play a different way than Brady.
Yeah.
That the Brady played.
You can open up the offense much more with him at quarterback than you could with Brady, because Cam, he could beat you with his arm, but he could beat you even more sometimes with his legs. I mean,
that's exactly correct. And he actually has more rushing yards than any Patriot in the last, forever. Any Patriot's got more rushing yards than any Patriot running back.
Yeah,
and that's
incredible.
just incredible.
He's an incredible runner.
Now, I also want to put in a little caveat. Got to write that down in the little chat. The little caveat is
Doug's word of the day. Caveat.
Word of the day. I started this morning. Somebody walked into my office today, and I said, "Hello, how was your caveat?" And they looked at me like I was crazy. No. So the little caveat is that I am not, under any circumstances, trying to put this guy above Brady, over Brady, on a pedestal, or anything like that.
No.
I am just watching what he's saying and getting excited about the fact that he's coming, and that he's going to be here, and that he's going to be, kind of showing off his skills and be able to do that. Am I guaranteed that he's going to be a starter? No. And I never said that.
No.
Do I think he will be? Well, we'll get to that question in a minute or so.
He's a good quarterback. He's not on Brady's level by any means. No. Absolutely.
No, but we never said that.
No. Neither one of us said that. He's a good quarterback, especially when he's healthy. And obviously, the health is a bit of a question with him.
Health is a huge issue.
Not going to gloss past that fact.
Right.
But at the same time, when he is on, he is a pretty darn good quarterback.
Yeah, I believe that too. I totally believe that. I think that's very true. Is that I think he's just getting excited. That's all it is.
Yeah.
He's getting excited, and I'm excited for the excitement. Write that down. But I think that there are some other national media that are talking about different situations. There was a situation where Skip Bayless, who, by the way, I can't stand. I can't stand Skip Bayless. I'm sorry. I can't stand him.
Skip.
He said something about on his show about the fact that he does not think that a black quarterback can make it in Boston, in New England, in Boston here. And I don't actually know what to say about that, except for the fact that Skip is an idiot, as far as I'm concerned. I'm trying not to be a homer too much, but the fact is that tell that to Paul Pierce. Tell that to Bill Russell, although Bill Russell did have issues here.
KG.
Tell that to KG. Tell that to Big Poppy.
Yeah. Tell Mookie Betts. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, do I have to name all the African American players that played here that actually got respect? So the issue is that I'm not going to spend too much time on this, Robbie, because of the fact that I think it's a really stupid statement.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because I mean, yes, are there a few bad apples who go to games and may make a comment or two, and we've heard of examples, from the out.
And those people should be kicked out, of the stadium, and not allowed to come back ever. They should.
But the actions of a few do not indicate the city as a whole. I mean, I just anytime people make sort of these racial comments about Boston or call Bostonians racist, it drives me crazy. It's. I don't know. You're right. I'm not going to spend too much of my energy on it, but thank you. But sure, if I don't understand.
You sounded like Spock from Star Trek.
I know who Spock is. I just didn't get why I was being referred to him at that moment.
Because he said that in one of the movies.
Got it.
I think. I don't know. No, anyway, I just don't want to spend a lot of time on it because I think it was, it's something that you could talk about for like 3 minutes and then basically just.
It's true. It's too early for me to go full Rambo, Doug. We're only one segment into this thing.
No, absolutely, and the fact is that I'd rather not do that on a stupid comment that somebody has no idea what the hell they're talking about. So It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So Robbie, let's talk about the Pats a little bit anyway. And and I know that they haven't started training camp yet, and it's coming up, and it's it's one of those things where all the sports, and we'll talk about other sports in other segments, but trying to move forward and move slowly during this pandemic and stuff like that. Sports. And what did I say? Did I say sports?
Yeah, no, I just
wanted to say sports. Okay.
Especially since we are a sports show. It's in the name. So
oh, right. That's right. It's called the Sports Blitz.
The idea of us talking about sports is kind of...
Oh, I thought we were talking about caves or automobiles. No, we're not. So how do you think... First of all, I want to ask you the first question. Who do you think is going to be the starting quarterback on day one? For week one?
I think honestly, I think is going to be, and again, this is all predicated on health and stuff like that. I think it's going to be Cam. I think it's going to be Cam Newton. I think if he comes into camp healthy and performs the way that he's supposed to perform, he is above Stidham, just on the surface. Period. End of story. I think it's going to be Cam. I mean, again, I say that with sort of the caveat of his health and sort of him coming back from off of injury and how he's going to look. But
that wasn't even spelled right.
I was about to say I said Stidham. I did not say Stingham. I think.
Totally spelled that wrong.
Yeah. Wow. Wait.
Sorry, I've been typing some of the day today. Sorry. I don't know how to spell.
Long story short, I think it's gonna be Cam. Barring a health issue or some other issue that comes up during camp. I think Cam Newton will be the starter week one. So.
I'm agreeing with that. Okay. I think that barring any health issues or anything that could happen in training camp or anything like that, I think there will be a competition. I
Oh,
do.
absolutely.
I think there will be a competition.
Campus can be so much fun to watch with those two battling it out for that starting job.
There is one person out there that thinks that Stidham will be one person in not national sports, but I guess you can call it national because if you go on to iHeartRadio, they're on there. So I guess you could pick it up anywhere in the world. But locally, there is one person that's saying that Stidham thinks that Stidham is going to win the job. Which I think is interesting.
You notice how no one has jumped on the Hoyer for starter bandwagon.
Yeah. I don't know anybody that's going to jump on that bandwagon. Definitely not. Yeah, so that's what I think. I think I want to personally, I know we have it down here, but I personally want to I really don't want to make any predictions about how they're going to do yet.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see what the full team is.
Especially with how weird like this off season and like sort of the lead into the regular season is going to be and has been.
Yeah. I mean, Tooney, are they going to give they missed the deadline, I think was
he's
yesterday.
Playing.
Yesterday was to do that, to give him an extension, and they did not give him one. So is he going to be traded before? I mean, there's lots of different parts and pieces that go to this.
By the way, I gotta say here for a second, the whole, I understand, guys want the long-term deals, but he's still gonna be making $15 million this year, whatever it is. I mean, go, cry me a river, build me a bridge, and get over it.
Cry me a river, build me a bridge. Oh my! You have the sayings tonight, man. Wow!
Just drop.
What is happening? What is going on? Wow! Unbelievable. The few of the many outweigh the few of the less. I mean, you're just cry me a river. Wow, man! You are just flying them out. I mean, they're just coming out, man.
Just dropping saying bobs over here.
She's dropping in all kinds of stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's like having that. Wouldn't it be great to have that those little saying bubbles around your head? That'd be kind of cool.
Thought bubbles.
Thought bubbles. Yeah, thought bubble. Right by your head and stuff like that. Well, hey, listen. Speaking about bubbles, we're going to be talking about the bubble.
Perfect segue.
Down in Orlando. Yes, it is a perfect segue.
I know.
So we're going to talk about the bubble a little bit, which is kind of
living in a bubble.
Interesting. Interesting enough to actually have a hotline that you can tattle and tell
what is this third grade? What are we at? Like
on other people that are actually leaving the bubble, and there have been people that have left the bubble. Once you leave the bubble and come back, you have to quarantine for 10 days.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot practice, you cannot do anything, you cannot be with your team. You have to stay in your room. Not that they haven't been doing that anyway, but stay in your room for 10 days.
You have to stay on, and then like after the initial ones, they basically are relegated to the Disney campus.
Yes, and that's the bubble.
Yeah,
the Disney campus, but it doesn't go all the way out. It just goes to a certain point. I guess.
By the way, this just
don't remember. I'm sorry. I was just going to say I don't remember who it was. I can't remember exactly who left the bubble first, but he was going out to get. He was going out to get a food, man. And it's like, man.
And now he's got extra quarantine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one sort of this broke today. I don't know if you saw it, but Zion Williamson actually fully left the bubble because of a
family emergency.
Family emergency. So he has departed completely the bubble, and we'll see when he comes back. Yes, maybe too bad we don't have any bubbles to like blow a bubble or talk about bubbles. But yeah, so Zion is out of the bubble is no longer living in the bubble, at least at this moment.
So they actually have a hotline for people who are not following the rules.
And what do you think of that? What do you think of that? Do you like that idea?
Well, I mean, I understand why they have it. And they get a report on it every day. There's like a report. Like the first few days that they were there was no reports. But starting, I think, yesterday or Monday or Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday. Tuesday, they started to see an increase of phone calls of people that are leaving the bubble and coming back in and not following the rules. So do I like it? I think in the time that we're in right now, I think that it is important to make sure that people are healthy and safe. And if they leave the bubble, they may not be, because that bubble is the only thing that is the safest spot in Florida. Because Florida last week had 15,000 cases in one day.
Yeah, I know.
They are not following the rules.
It's crazy.
They are not following the rules there. So
wear a damn mask, people. I'm sorry.
And the governor's
mask.
a little soft. So the governor's a little soft. But the fact is that do I think it's a good idea? Yeah, because you're
given the times.
Yeah, you're just you're controlling what's happening in the bubble. And if somebody leaves the bubble, you need to know, because if that person comes back with the virus and infects everybody else, guess what happens?
It's shut down.
They shut it down, baby. And then basketball is gone. Because they're not going to – they have to continue it at some point, but they won't be able to continue it if there are people constantly breaking the rules. They can't do it. Somebody's going to come down with it, with the virus. Somebody's going to come into the bubble, come down with it, and then a whole bunch of people, and then what are you going to do? So you have to control it in some way, and this is a way of controlling it.
Yeah.
And I guess I agree with it to some point. What do you think, Rob?
I agree with you. I think it makes a lot of sense, just given sort of the times and sort of the importance of keeping everybody healthy and safe. I mean, rules are rules. I mean, if you're gonna break the rules and sort of, put yourself and others potentially at risk, I mean, I hate to say it, but you kind of deserve to be told on and to be punished for it. I mean, obviously early on it seems like there were maybe a couple of honest mistakes, but at this point, the guidelines are pretty specific. Yes, I do rule the world. Everybody wants to rule the world. That was a song.
Oh, thank you, Tears for Fears, boy.
Yeah, it's a good song. Good song.
It is a good song. They don't like it, but it was a good song.
But I agree that it is important, and I don't necessarily have a problem with it. And I think just again, it's all about safety and keeping the players healthy. And
if we want, Robbie, it comes down to this: if we want to have sports, we got to follow the protocol. If they don't follow the protocol, sports are going to be gone.
Yep.
And that's just a fact.
Just like with everything. And we'll sort of touch on
just a fact.
Some other local players that have been a little bit naughty potentially later on with other teams. But
So getting back to the Celtics, we have just a little bit of a concern, and I'm not that concerned. But we have a concern. Well, we have a concern for Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker has missed the last 3 practices. I am not concerned because
I think Brad said he's going to be every other day starting, sort of every other day.
Brad Stevens had said that he will be ready for the season when it starts.
Yeah.
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to ease him in and not have him, do a practice here and have him rest and do a practice here and then rest. I think they're just trying to ease him in like they probably would do if it was a normal season. And I think I personally think that's what they're doing. So I'm not incredibly concerned, but there is some concern about whether he is, fully recovered from his injury. And that is a little bit of a concern.
Well, he's clearly not fully recovered because he's going to be on a minutes restriction for the seeding portion of the games.
Right. No,
for the playoffs.
Right. Exactly. But I think the issue is whether the Celtics can actually win without him. They can. I think that's fine. They have Marcus Smart and um, I just think they'd be better off with better off with Kemba than without him. But I think they're doing it on purpose. So everybody's getting all nervous, and I think that there's a strategy here that they're using. I don't know if you think that's the right thing.
I agree, because I think that really your focus, so to speak. Obviously, these seeding games or these eight or is it 8 games, right? 8 seeding.
I think it's it's 8.
Yeah, 8. They're obviously important, but I mean the playoffs are obviously the most important thing. So if you can sort of get it so that he is, full go by then, I think it's well worth it. But obviously I want him out there as much as possible. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a great player and, can definitely has the ability to take over games and stuff like that. But I think I don't necessarily disagree with the with them doing that. I really don't.
Yeah, the method in which they're doing it.
Yeah. I was trying to think of methodology. I couldn't think of the word, but so that was that.
Unbelievable. He's got words that are coming out that are like flowing, and then he forgets a word like method. I don't understand.
No, that's methodology.
Okay. Methodology. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can say the word method. I just couldn't say it in plural form or whatever you want to call it.
No, I know exactly what you're trying to say. I totally get it. But I think
I passed English in high school. Darn it.
Well, I need to see your grades. But anyway, so I think really what it comes down to is really trying to figure out. And actually, I had a really nice conversation with a friend of the show. And that friend got into a really great conversation about whether we have a chance to beat Philadelphia. And the conversation, one of those things where I think that Philadelphia has some issues. And, I think they have a lot of issues, but that's beside the point. But I still think that we could beat Philly. But it's so difficult.
These teams,
it's easy to talk about stuff, but it's also hard to talk about stuff.
Every single team has had 4 months off, so every single team is going to be coming back in sort of the same way. So you really, until those games get going, you really don't know how teams are going to respond to such that long layoff.
And you don't have any idea how they're going to react to what they're doing and how they're doing. And I'm going to tell you right up front. Doesn't matter what it is, what sport it is, except football, because football is kind of in this natural progression here, but kind of. But the other sports, they're going to come back and they're going to be super rusty.
Oh, yeah.
So just realize that when you start watching these games, they're going to be super, super rusty. And not that they're not practicing, because they are. But it's different practicing versus game situation. So
practice?
It's just different. Practice?
Don't talk about
I'm not talking about no practice.
We're talking about the game, not the game.
Talking about the game? Practice?
Good old Al. Dropping it out to Iverson.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? So, playoffs.
Jim Mora.
Playoffs.
I thought we were in a game.
Did you? I think you wrote you got a C- in English. So
C minus.
C minus. That's good. Not really sure what that is. So we'll have to work on that. So I don't know what that is. So I think when it comes down to it, when it comes to basketball, the NBA and the Celtics, we really want to kind of.
You kind of have to wait and see.
Exactly. That's really what I'm trying to say. With
all these sports, so you kind of have to wait and see until the actual games get going. Hi.
I don't know. You're like, we have to see.
By the way, live long and prosper.
I can't do that. I can't do it. My hands like. Anyway,
I think with any of the sports, you have to wait and see. Once really games get back going, what it looks like. I think you're going to get a quick, somewhat of a quick feel for how it's going to go once those do get going. But until then, again, it's you really have to take a wait and see approach to it.
Right, exactly, and
like with everything,
to see what it's like. Yeah, to see what it's like, to see what it's going to happen, what's going to happen, and how things are going to happen. Wait and see. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the next topic, I'm just gonna hand this topic right over to Robbie. We're gonna talk about Major League Baseball and the Red Sox getting ready.
Who are falling apart by the day, by the way, with their pitching rotations. So, hey, listen, I feel for Eduardo Rodriguez, testing positive, and some of these other guys.
Yeah, but I heard it wasn't bad though. I heard it was on quarantine.
But he still has to be out. No, I don't think he has symptoms, but he still has to be out.
I know.
For 2 weeks or whatever.
Got to be out for 14 days. He's got to be out.
We needed this like a hole in the head, and there's me dropping another reference.
You are a reference boy tonight. Wow.
Really?
Wow.
I'm just dropping those reference bombs. But we just didn't need this. I mean, our pitching staff is a disarray as it is, and reference bomb boy, seriously. And then to have Rodriguez go down, plus sort of the reliever aspect. There were also two other relief pitchers, younger pitchers that tested positive as well. It's just
you have to be ready for this to happen when they start playing. We have to be prepared for this. We have to be mentally prepared for this to happen, because this may happen, and we have to be prepared for some guy named Bobby Johnson coming in. And be able to come in and pitch a few innings. So, Robbie, stay by your phone. Stay by your phone and get ready.
You know what? Hey, you know what? I
umpires might go down too, Robbie. You might be in luck.
Hey, you know what? I pitched my share of innings back in my high school summer.
Back in your MLB days.
Back in my summer high school travel ball days. I mean, my pitch would go up, it would come down, and then it would go out. And basically,
back a couple nights ago when Robbie was dreaming, he was in the Major League Baseball.
I never said I was in MLB.
I'm just saying, it's one of those things. I know they're dropping like flies, but we have to get prepared.
Hey,
one of the things I needed.
My job to drop references.
Oh, sorry. We have to be prepared, and we have to be prepared that there may be some major people that may go down with the virus and may be out for a good 2 weeks.
Or we
have to be prepared for it, and so do the teams. The teams
even just injuries in general. Even just
that too.
Injuries in general. That too, because guys coming back rusty and all that. You don't know.
I totally agree with that.
A long layoff is going to affect guys.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. What's your status report on the rotation itself?
You're the number 1 starter. I'm the number 2 starter.
Your mother's number 3. My mother's number 4.
Our pal George is number 5. Kyle's the first man.
Kyle's the first baseman. That's perfect. He would love playing first. He doesn't have to move that much. So that's perfect.
The rotation is
he could stand there looking at a comic book if he wanted to and not have a problem. I got it.
The rotation is just it's a shit show. It's basically what it is. It's a shit show.
Wow. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, we never said that this was rated PG or rated
It's not.
G.
It's fine. It's all good. all good. Yeah, we're not clean all the time.
Yeah,
We're not clean all the time, Robbie. I know you didn't take a shower.
when Brian Johnson is mentioned,
Not Robbie Johnson, Brian Johnson.
the potential fourth starter to no. I don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss for words with just how this staff has been depleted by the day, and I don't know how it's going to go.
Well, it looks like, hey, Robbie, it looks like they may be getting some help. They're close to signing Zach Godley. What do you think of Zach Godley?
I gotta be honest. I don't know. I know the name, obviously. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know too much about
him. But hey, anything helps at this point. Anything helps. I mean, go for it. If he could come at BA sort of help.
His stats look pretty good from the. I didn't memorize. So I don't have.
He? I could be butchering the team. Was he Kansas City? From Kansas City?
I think so. Hold on.
I feel like he played for Kansas City at one point.
Oh, sorry.
Doug doing some in-show research.
I am doing some in-show research. In-show research.
In-show research. We could speak.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not real happy with the rotation. Is that what I'm getting?
Nope, not real happy with it at all. But once the games get going, maybe they'll surprise us. But right now, as you just look at paper, it's like I said, you and I can have as much success as some of these guys in this opening day rotation.
Yeah. So Zach is 30-year-old right-handed pitcher. Right-handing. He spent the 2019 season on the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
After spending his first 4+ major league seasons with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, okay.
He did struggle in 2019 with a 4-5 record, and his ERA wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It was 5.97.
Yeah.
Over 92 innings, but had stints of effectiveness in Arizona, including a 15-win season in 2018. So he may have some stints that he could.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it can't hurt at this point, given what we got.
The fact is that he gives the Red Sox a warm body in the rotation at least. Somebody who can come out and pitch something.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're going to call you, but sorry, I was privileged information.
They're going to have the what's it called, the field, the fielder position players are coming into pitch pretty soon if this keeps up.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a story on him, but he could bring some. If he comes back like if he comes into this year like he was in 2018, might not be too bad. So I don't know a lot about him either. Again, he was on Toronto and the Diamondbacks, and let me tell you, didn't watch a lot of those games. So that's I haven't really looked him up on YouTube yet or anything, but it sounds like he's definitely a warm body in there, and just trying to figure out how we can settle on a rotation. And again, as it comes closer to the start is when we really start getting into, who's on the team. They're ready to go. Let's make some predictions. Let's get some stuff going. Again, we're just in the pre-start still, and it's
like I said, the closest we've gotten to live baseball since March is watching Red Sox Facebook Live videos of their inter-squad scrimmages.
Right. I thought it was the Korean Baseball League at 5 o'clock in the morning. No. Definitely not. Not. Speaking of people that are teams that are having a little bit of difficulty, we're going to move to the Oh, here it is. Right here, Robbie.
The Bees.
The
The
move to the
Bees.
Boston Bruins, the Bears, the Bees.
The Bulls. Yeah.
So we got some interesting information about Bruce Cassidy is actually up for the Coach of the Year
Yeah.
award, which I think is so well deserved.
Oh, of course.
And I'm not just being a homer. I mean, just look at what he's done with the team itself. I mean, and at least in the last couple of years, he's done unbelievable.
I feel like since he took over, I mean,
yeah,
just the team has just been on a completely different trajectory than it was, back under the Claude, especially towards the end of the Claude Julien days.
Oh yeah, no. I get some kind of pit in my stomach when I think of Claude Julien a little bit. A guy who decides he's going to play veterans and not play younger guys, and the younger guys actually have speed and can help, which is what Cassidy's doing. He's bringing both of them together. So you play a guy like Krug, and then you play a guy like Patrice Bergeron. So, and again, Bergeron still has the speed, and he's still a young guy, but he's not like Krug is. He's not that young. But it's just one of those things where we always seem to, and I don't really care about the awards that much, Robbie. I care about, carrying the cup around the ice. I care less about the awards. We seem to, and I don't know what it is. Even Pasternak was kind of snubbed this year, and he has been playing amazing.
What a season he had up until everything shut down. I mean, he was incredible.
There's just no words to describe what he actually did, and I don't understand why he keeps getting snubbed for these awards. I don't care about the awards that much. It's a story that's out there. So, and that's why we're talking about.
By the way, we are definitely talking up David Pastrnak right now, because I know a little bit later in the segment we're going to be discussing some issues with David Pastrnak. So
yeah, that just came out this morning.
Yeah,
and another player also. But yeah, so I don't understand the snubbing of this. I have no clue. Don't really care that much. I'm like 1%. I don't really care. The fact is that if he's able to, if they're able to get together and win a cup, and David Pastrnak's holding up the cup like this and running around and skating around the ice, then as far as I'm concerned, I could care less whether he's the best player in the league, or I could care less about that. I mean, it's not about individual records or awards. It's about that final award that you get when you win the cup, and that's just what I believe. And I think they believe the same thing. I don't think they really follow that stuff. If they get it, they get it. They don't, they don't. But yeah, so that's just my thoughts. Yeah, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, Pastrnak is a great player. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, he's really come into his own these past couple of years, and this year, I mean, it's disappointing, that he is sort of not being recognized as much as maybe he should be. But the fact of the matter is that up until, like I said, the season got shut down this year, he was playing out of his mind. Period. End of story. So, David Pastrnak, there's no questioning David Pastrnak's ability at this point. That is for sure.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think that's pretty right on that. But to to circle around to the elephant in the room, we do need to talk about a couple of players.
Can't find the elephant, but that's okay.
This morning, elephant. Hello, elephant. Hello. No, not back there. Any elephants? Any elephants? Hello. Maybe it's under. Hey, maybe the elephant is under my mouse. Elephant under my mouse. Get it? My mouse. Okay, so we've gotten to that point. Yes, we have gotten there. Absolutely. Excellent. Okay, so
Doug's,
two players
Doug's Comedy Hour brought to you by
the Sports Blitz.
Yeah.
Okay. So this morning there were two players that were not able to show up for practice. And so the designation that comes out when there are players that are hurt or not, or this is a very, very specific designation that the league actually put out for these particular two players. The designation was unfit to practice.
Right.
Now, from what I'm hearing, the unfit to practice designation is for players. The NHL is not going to tell you if they come down with COVID-19. Players come down with COVID-19, specific player names.
Right.
They're going to say that they're unfit to play or to practice. So when you get that designation, that typically designates the fact that they have tested positive for COVID.
Or there's an issue related to that particular subject.
Issue related to that subject.
Yeah.
So that's what the thought process was this afternoon all over sports radio, because they've been talking about it since this morning, because Bruce Cassidy was supposed to come out and discuss it this morning at 11, which he did. So it came out typically this late morning, early afternoon, that these two players, it's Pasternak and Kasha.
Yeah.
Kasha?
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. So
Kasha.
Yeah.
Kasha. Yes. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. I just know his last name. I don't know. Anyway, I'm still checking under my mouse. No elephant. Okay. So the issue is are we supposed to be nervous about this? Is the designation about the virus, or is it about something else? What do you think, Robbie?
Obviously I'm just going off
I want to know what's coming next.
I'm not Bruce. I mean, Cassidy said that he is expecting them both to be, back for, the start of games and stuff like that. He's not thinking about it any other way. So, one can only hope. I'm obviously, when you sort of hear these reports and stuff like that, it does lead to maybe a little bit of nervousness just because, of how things could sort of transpire so quickly, with sort of the situation that we're in. My whole thing is more...
Situation? Oh, yeah.
My whole thing is just more frustration, just especially given sort of the reports that are out there and stuff like that. I mean, you've been waiting months. These guys have been waiting months for the season to come back. You would think that they would be taking extra responsibility for themselves and for those, their fellow players and staffs and all that. So to hear some of the things that, again, are being reported, regarding these particular situations, these particular individuals, it definitely does lead to quite a bit of frustration about the fact that, maybe they're not taking things as seriously and responsibly as one might like. Frustrated, yeah, apparently. Doug,
you really have a spelling issue right now.
Doug is battling the keyboard tonight, folks.
I am battling. Wait. That's not even close. See, I'm still battling the keyboard, folks. Here we go. Battling the keyboard. All right, there you go. Battle. Ready? Here it comes.
Battling all right, I just for the folks at home who can't read this.
Battling the keyboard.
Keyboard.
Keyboard. That's my new word for keyboard. It's it's actually Swedish for keyboard. So that's what it is. Now I have, Robbie.
Yes, you have some inside info.
I do have a little bit of inside info, and it really does depend on. Well, it doesn't depend on anything really. It could be some inside information. It comes from an unnamed source, and I'm not going to mention the source's name. But the inside information is fans with sources.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is not a fan. This is somebody who's definitely
You're
source.
the fan. You're the fan.
I'm the fan.
You're the fan with the source.
Oh, I'm the
fan with source. Yeah.
I need more sources.
So do
more
I.
Sources.
So do I.
Anyway, so we're getting them. We're getting sources. So
gotta type up that bibliography. You know, like you had to used to do in English class or whatever.
You're in the English classes right now. I don't understand. You're talking about English all night. I don't get it. English classes and CC minuses and all kinds of stuff. Anyway.
Speaking English, you know.
Well, I'm not really doing that, but that's okay. So the especially with that word, keyboard. Excellent. So I'm just going to stop typing right now. So my unnamed source says that there were two that he heard that there were two hockey players, prominent hockey players, that went out last night and went around Boston with no masks, and that they were hitting the bars or whatever was open, and that they got a little tipsy, and that's why they were unfit to play. Now,
and one of these players has a history of having injury-related issues when while perhaps maybe under the influence of certain substances.
Yes, absolutely. So I don't know where the handlers were. Obviously, they may not have handlers anymore. Typically, the rookies do. But the fact is that that's what my unnamed source has said. So I'm not really sure what it is. I'm not sure if I like the fact. Which one do you like better? Is there a better option here, Robbie?
You mean in terms of the reasoning?
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm saying that for a reason. I'm asking for a reason.
I would say that honestly, I would prefer, obviously, if they were just maybe a little bit still getting over, the night before, and then and then that way they can come, they can
because
come back
they wouldn't have to quarantine
very quick turnaround. Whereas if it's something else, it would be much more, much tougher on things to for the other scenario.
Yeah, so the next question is, what does that say about their reliability?
It's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all.
That's what I would be concerned.
It's not good at all. The fact that, this has happened multiple times. This has happened multiple times, and no, it's simply not good. It is not a good situation.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating. It goes back to that whole frustration of just you really gotta especially in these times, just stay focused on the task at hand and just be responsible. I understand your mid-20s person. I understand you're in your mid-20s and there's sort of that inkling to go and have a good time, but now's not the time. Now, say that till the season actually ends. You're just setting yourself up for so many issues by doing that, rather than just sort of staying, keeping your nose to the grindstone and sort of taking the responsible way out.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what the best scenario is. Obviously, the best scenario for us is the fact that if they were just drinking the night before, full disclosure, they were drinking the night before, and they drank so much that they were still what they call unfit to play.
Yeah.
Because they were unfit to practice, which means that they were still tipsy this morning or still drunk this morning.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or they stayed up all night and they're still unfit to play or practice. Then that would be the best case scenario, although is it really the best case scenario? So the best case scenario is that, but that doesn't sound so good to me either. I mean,
neither
I'm just
one.
Concerned.
Neither one gives you a good feeling.
Right. So we'll have to see what happens in the next days to see
their status.
To see if they come back. To see if they come back.
Yeah.
If they come back the next day, that it wasn't the virus. It wasn't the virus.
Yeah.
If they don't come back, and it's very possible that there is some discipline.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
That's put out by Cassidy.
Well, that's why Cassidy's statement today that he was not of the mindset that they were not going to be ready for once the game started, sort of gives me the sense that even if there is maybe some underlying punishment that is not going
hard for you to say.
Yeah, that is not going to impact. It is not going to impact them. Once again it comes time for the game. So I hope that is true, and that this is just a sort of short-term thing for both of them.
Yeah, I'm hoping that too. I just don't know, and maybe the story will never come out, and it may come out just by us knowing when they're going to come back, or not. So
you can make inferences based on sort of what happens here over these next few days and weeks.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. But so that's I mean, again, with the Bruins, they're practicing. The practices look pretty good. I've seen they've had some of the footage.
But I think Tuukka Rask had a little bit.
He got hit. He got hit with the puck. Yeah.
And so had to leave practice early today, which you never like to see. But it doesn't sound like it was anything severe or anything major, which is good. He has a boo-boo, yes.
Got a little boo-boo.
Yep, has a little boo-boo.
And I'm not talking about Yogi's friend.
I'm not talking about Yogi's friend, Honey Boo Boo, none of that.
Oh, no, definitely not her, no. Oh my God, Robbie. But we should. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, Tuukka Rask is fine. It looks like he's going to be fine, and he's going to be okay.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's okay.
Everything is awesome.
Everything's all Whitney Houston right now, don't you think?
Yeah, everything's great. Everything's great.
I do. I think everything's just peachy keen.
Yeah.
We're using a lot of references tonight.
I know. What is happening?
I don't know. Starting to get scared, actually, of the references. Mostly.
I mean, I just suddenly quoted the Lego movie. That's the point that we've got.
I've never seen a Lego movie, so
there's a song. There's a song I can't believe I have to explain the
I don't
reference, but
believe
I'm
you
going
watched the
to.
Lego movie.
That's what happens when you work at a school. Okay.
Oh, right.
That's
Okay,
what happens when you work at a school.
I got you. I got you. I used to do that, so I get it.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say?
Bob the Builder, baby.
That's exactly. But there's a song from the movie that goes, "Everything is awesome."
Dora the Explorer.
Swipe or no swiping?
Swipe or no swiping.
Yeah.
Bob the Builder. Can you build it?
Oh,
Unbelievable. I love that. I love that song. I gotta get up and dance with everybody when the song's going on. So anyway, we have come to the end of our episode, and at the end of our episode, what we typically do is have our final thoughts. We're going to go to Robbie with his reference thoughts. No, I don't know. We're going to go to Robbie with his final thought. Robbie, what is your final thought for this episode number
46? Episode 46. Wow. My final thought is that I'm...
Thank you very much. Okay, so my final...
No, go to you now. This is... some days, some episodes are easier than others. No, in all seriousness, my final thought, and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the first segment of our show, and that is Cam Newton and how he is...
Wait, let me look. Okay.
How he has come in...
I was just looking.
And... how he has come in and, it's obviously, been going on social media. And
so he's coming and going.
Yeah, he's coming.
That's great. He's coming to New England, and then he's going on social media. So he's actually coming and going. That's great.
Didn't mean that what I meant, but
Another reference coming out of your mouth, man. That's flowing tonight.
Nice and easy.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I just want to say.
There it is.
Anyway.
There's another one.
Anyway.
Coming and going and nice and easy. Sounds like horses that you bet on.
The horse is out of the barn now. I mean,
I thought we were looking for the elephant. Where's the Okay, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, sort of going back to our previous point, that I am very excited, actually, by Cam Newton's sort of pump-up Instagram posts and videos, and the fact that he is really seeming to take...
I'm going to bump you up.
Exactly. The fact that he is... Another great reference. The fact that he is sort of coming in here... I pick things up and I put them down. The fact that he is coming in here strong and has really, really embraced, it seems like, the opportunity to come here and play... for the Patriots and, hopefully, in his mind, compete and win the starting job as Patriots quarterback. So I think it makes me very excited, what he's doing, despite what other people in the media might be saying. I think it's a great thing, and I hope that, he can really, come back healthy and really help lead the team, because I think it'll have an impact on how the Patriots perform this season if he is healthy, and sort of what, if he assumes that starter role and what that looks like. So I'm excited. I'm excited to have him here, and just excited for, again, hopefully, fingers crossed, for football to be back coming up here in the next month or so of training camp, and then with the regular season. I'm not even looking at you anymore. Like, I literally am not even looking at the screen because I'm trying
I'm just doing my fingers crossed, man. But I went like this for. Oh, sorry. I hate when it does that. I did that first.
Oh, poor guy. Hold on, let me just touch my nose a little bit.
Hey. Family show.
Yeah, right. This is a family show. Yeah, that's
Well,
the
it was a family show.
that's the biggest. Yeah, and then that's the biggest load ever.
Biggest load. Why is that a big load?
Yeah, this is being
Coming
a
and
family.
going and nice and easy. And the elephant in the room. I have no
All right,
idea.
before
Okay,
we
go ahead.
completely go off the rails, no, I'm done. Before we completely go off the rails, let me toss it over to you, Doug, for tossing it over. What is your
Got it.
as you go
I
completely?
fell on my face, but I caught it.
What is your final thought for episode number 46?
My final thought is two rivalries get together and partner up. Check that out. So, the New York Mets met with the New England Patriots owners, Robert Kraft and Jonathan Kraft, after last week to discuss a partnership. What? What? New York and Boston? What's going on? Oh, I get it. Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez, along with other partners in their ownership group, looking to buy the New York Mets, and got together last week with the Crafts to talk about a partnership. So basically, they discussed developing the area around Citi Field, which is among the reasons the power couple is interested in purchasing the struggling MLB franchise. So what they're thinking about doing around Citi Field is basically the same thing is what's happening around Gillette Stadium with the restaurants and the shops and that's what it is.
But
That's how you make money.
I will say this: Patriot Place has a better ring to it than Met Place.
It does. But the fact is that they're getting together. These two rivals are getting together to form a partnership, which doesn't happen very often. But I just think it's very interesting. It kind of wasn't. It hasn't really been in the sports news. It's kind of like this little tiny paragraph.
I've been hearing
tiny paragraph.
I've been hearing a little bit about.
Yeah, a little bit, but not too much because they're not really talking about too much because they don't want to talk about too much. They're talking about what the ownership would be like and all this kind of stuff. I just think it's interesting how they're getting together as a partnership. These two rivals.
Yeah.
That's not as much as the Yankees, but still, Rodriguez was a Yankee. So getting together to form a partnership.
I just threw up in my mouth a little bit thinking of Alex Rodriguez.
It's all about this, baby. It's all about this.
All about the moolah. That's right.
All about the money.
All about the Benjamin. Show me the money. Another reference.
All about, thank you very much, Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire. I just want to play football, Jerry. It's another reference. I mean, what's going on here? We're Reference City tonight.
Episode 46, a.k.a. Reference City. Yeah.
That's right. Excellent.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to put that. We should put that on top. Just so people know that we are going to be referencing a lot.
But is it on top of the mouse or is it on top of the elephant that's on top of the mouse?
I don't know. Hold on. I guys got to find it. It's still not there, man. I can't find it. Can't find the elephant in the room. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Absolutely.
Episode 46 of the Sports Blitz. We had a great time. We do want to tell you that there's a few episodes that are coming up that are going to be super special. We do have a possible special guest, and we're crossing our fingers on this one, baby.
Crossing them both.
Well, we do have some special guests that are coming up. We're going to have another Rivers Day Camp episode, we're just gonna. If you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to chime in. We're on social media. We're on YouTube. What else are we on, Robbie? SoundCloud,
Facebook, Twitter, sort of everywhere you want to be.
That's correct. And we love suggestions. So please give us the suggestions. about episodes that we're doing down the road. And we had a great time. So
Right, absolutely.
thanks so much for joining us. For Robbie, thanks, Robbie. We'll
Thank you,
definitely
Doug.
talk soon. For Robbie, I'm Doug. For the Sports Blitz, we're out.